I have a PhD from the New School for Social Research in Sociology. And my area of specialization, well, it was more sociological theory, but I've gravitated into sociology, religion, and lately more into the larger study of religion. And I've taught in a number of different places, universities and colleges, mostly on the East Coast. And most recently I taught at Harvard Divinity School and at Boston College. I edit a peer-reviewed academic journal called Critical Research on Religion, and a complementary book series called Studies in Critical Research on Religion, and there's a kind of an umbrella research center that kind of covers it all. So right now I'm working on an editorial for the journal on Israel-Palestine. And so I've been going into the history of Israel-Palestine, and essentially I'm going to be arguing for a one-state solution. Not a very popular idea, but I think one which is based on the full and equal rights for both Israelis and Palestinians living in the same land. Well, I think what happened is, after October 7th, and given what's going on in Gaza and Lebanon, once again, it's come into attention, but this is a problem that's been going on since the 1930s, and it's a problem that hasn't been resolved. It's largely a refugee problem, which no one seems to want to deal with, neither Israel or the surrounding countries around Israel. And so there's this kind of repeated cycle of violence that takes place. There are multiple wars that take place. And I think really at this point that people should get tired of killing each other, and that there should be a long-lasting peace. So I have two that recently came out. One is called, I think, Critical Religion and Sociology Religion. It was in the journal, it's in the journal Method and Theory for the Study of Religion, MTSR. And basically within religious studies, one of the major debates is over the category of religion. The argument goes that religion is a category, it's a Western term, it's a modern term, and it's been superimposed upon non-Western societies and also upon antiquity. So those who are kind of adhere to this kind of critical religion camp, they call into question this notion of the category of religion. And then I bring that into the sociology of religion, because the sociology of religion, one of the major debates in sociology of religion is over on the theory of secularization. That is, as society evolves, that there's supposed to be a decline of religion, and obviously this has been a contested topic in the sociology of religion. But the problem with sociology as opposed to religious studies is that whereas religious studies, what they do is they certainly place into question, or this very notion about the category of religion, sociologists don't pay attention. Sociologists use religion, throw it out, and they don't even take into consideration what the term means. Especially in the Durkheimian mode, or Robert Bellah, for example, there's this kind of very broad application of the category of religion. So everything becomes a religion. Football could be religion. Baseball could be religion. So on the one hand, why religious studies is very particular and very nuanced and I guess critical in the use of the category of religion. Sociology of religion is very broad and kind of uses it, implies it to everything without ever considering the term at all. So this is what this piece does. That's one piece I ended up doing. Well, so the way I understand myself currently, so I'm originally a PhD in sociology. And more specifically, if I was to choose a subdiscipline in sociology, it's really sociology of religion particularly. But I've become really more broadly interested in the study of religion more broadly. So as editor of Critical Research on Religion, I deal with it's very interdisciplinary and international. So I receive manuscripts from all over the world, from many different disciplines, many different countries. Some of my top countries, which I get contributions are from places like Iran, Nigeria, Indonesia, Bangladesh, lately on India. And for me, that's very exciting, particularly that even the journal that I launched, it's the idea about being critical, that we evaluate religion both positively and negatively. So it's not just negative to be critical, but to evaluate religion, to discern, to judge, to make evaluations on it, to critically reflect on religion. And so use the example of Iran, for example. The journal's political. And what the journal attempts to do is it attempts to create a forum, internationally and interdisciplinary, where scholars throughout the world can come together with these varying critical approaches. It's pretty heterodox. There's no party line. The journal is very broad in terms of what it understands as critical. But for example, in Iran, you have this is the Islamic Republic. And you have a theocracy with a supreme leader at the helm of this, and there's very restriction. They're very restrictive in terms of it's not a very how should I say it? There's not a whole lot of religious freedom in that society, and many Iranians, for example, are very disenchanted with their own government. So I end up getting pieces actually from reformers in Iran. So there's two different camps in Iran. You have your conservatives; they control the judiciary and they control the Revolutionary Guard. But then you also have the reformers, and it's almost in some respects, Iran operates in this two-party system, informally so. So I tend to get pieces from academics who are reformers who will use Islam to criticize the regime. And so for me, that's the potential. Or for example, I get pieces from disaffected Mormons, like dealing with the Mormon church in Utah. So the idea is that a reformation from religion often comes from within. So the journal, what it does is it provides a critique of religion, but it also allows a space where those who are within religious traditions, who are more reform-oriented, can engage in critique of the orthodoxy within those religious traditions. Well, this is actually the fourth time I've done a fellowship at CURA. And for me, it's been I haven't done it for a couple of years. It's been very productive and very fruitful. I think I had 2 previous journal articles which came out of presenting papers at CURA, but also I got to know many faculty at BU, graduate students at BU, and also academics from the surrounding area. And a number of them have submitted articles for publication to the journal, many successfully so. And also they end up being reviewers for the journal. So for me, it's ended up being very particularly useful. So originally I came to Boston, I was a fellow at Harvard. And I guess somehow, I'm not quite sure how exactly I found out, but I guess I must have gotten on some mailing list where I saw the announcement and figured this is a good thing to, I was at Harvard for a while, and it was good for me to cross the river and go to the other side a little bit.